for my Teachers in Action presentation, I decided to work with a student. Her name was Mia. So starting my TIA project, she was 7 years old. She was my neighbor, actually, and she was very sweet, and I really enjoyed spending time with her. Her disability included sensory, emotional, and behavioral. After talking to her parents, they said that she had a lot of issues at school, and I had babysat her a couple other times, so she was already familiar with me, so I think that was important for her already to have some familiar faces around doing this project. She had some trouble making friends. That was her big thing in school, and a lot of times the altercations that she had at school were between other students in her classroom. And I think this was a good experience for me because overall, like as a teacher, I'm going to be dealing with altercations between students all the time. So knowing furthermore into a student and their disability, if they do have one, can really benefit me and the student. So on the first day, this was the first day of me actually working with her. She already knew who I was, so I didn't have to do a true introduction, but I did tell her that she was helping me with schoolwork by me spending time with her and getting to know her, and she loved the idea of doing that. I decided to go outside with her because I knew that there were some other kids around the neighborhood that I never saw her playing with, but I knew she would probably want to play with them because they were around her age. So we went outside, and her and I just played together, and we played hopscotch, and that was a lot of fun. And I kind of wanted to see just how she would react to different things that I did, because she kind of saw me on like a friend level, I think, more than like an adult. So I kept messing up and saying, oh, let me redo it. Oh, I'm going to try it again. Oh, let me redo it again. And she kind of got a little frustrated with me at that point, and she's like, let me show you, and kind of took over the game. And I kind of just left it at that. I didn't really probe anymore because it kind of showed me that she likes to be in charge. But I felt like I did, at the end, was like, I did compliment her on her showing me and helping me, and I told her that's a good friend, those are good friend skills, and I think that made her kind of like proud of herself. So I thought for the rest of the time I'd try and focus on being more of a positive influence and positive reinforcement in going further with her. So day two, she was not in a very good mood because her parents were going to a party later on, and it was coming down the street, and she wanted to go to that party, but it was explained to her multiple times that during that party it would only be adults. There was no kids, so it wasn't like a friendly party for kids, but she was just hurt that she wasn't invited, and I think that like had her foster back to not really having many friends at school and struggling with that. So I think that was like not a good day for her, and so I tried my best to kind of like keep her happy, keep positive mood going on, but it was kind of like one of those days where I feel like she just needed to be let alone, and she would eventually get over it, and I hope tomorrow would be like a good way for me to interact with her the next day. Okay, on day three, because yesterday was such a tough day, I really came in super positive and happy, so that way today would be a better day for her. So we went on a bike ride, and I was secretly looking around for like kids for her to play with, and across the street she actually has a girl, Alicia, and Alex. Alex was younger and Alicia's older, and they were coming outside when we were going inside, so I kind of just was able to get a glimpse of them and see that, oh, possibly maybe those could be some people she could hang out with. And I asked her about them. I was like, did you ever go play with them? And she just kind of shut down with that. She didn't want really anything to do with it. She said that they were mean to her, but once I like probed her with some more questions about how were they mean to her, I realized it wasn't so much that they were mean to her, but they weren't willing to play with what she wanted to play with. They weren't willing to do what she wanted to do. So that was her way of saying that they were mean because they weren't doing what she wanted. So I told her everybody gets in bad moods and stuff, and doesn't always do the same thing, but you should always like give people second chances, and she was kind of like over it. So I hoped that further on we'd be able to like kind of get closer to her wanting to possibly hang out with them. On day 4, I brought her some questions and some scenarios to see how she would react to them. So the first one was, you are playing with a friend and they have a toy you want, but will not give it to you. What can you do? So her reaction to this was almost in a way of just giving me what I wanted to hear. I honestly don't think that she would handle the situation the way she gave me how she would. She said that I would play with something else until they were done playing with that toy, and then I would go get that toy. But through my just watching her and observations, I don't feel like that was like a true answer. I think she was just trying to let me hear what I wanted to hear. For number 2, I asked, you see that someone is crying because they fell on the ground. What do you do? And what kind of emotions will you feel? She said she would feel sad for the student and she would help them get back up. And I do think genuinely like she would do that, because she does have a sweet heart and she is willing to help, but I think she gets more negative attention through doing negative things, and she wants that attention, so she's going to do more negative things than positive things like helping a student get up. And number 3 is, do you have a lot of friends at school? Why or why not? And she said she does not, because nobody's nice to her and nobody likes her. And I told her, well, I like her and I think she can be a good friend to people. And we kind of just discussed about that question. And she answered them all with like good ideas overall, I think. And the only thing I just wish is maybe her opening up to me more would help her really answer those questions, dig deeper into those questions, because she was kind of just like feeding me what I wanted to hear and what would be proper. Okay, so on day 5, it was a couple days later, so I hadn't seen her continually for days upon days in a row. But I really wanted to have her interact and go talk to the little girls across the street and possibly play with them. So reluctantly, she did come with me because I went with her, and I said, I bet you would really love to play with them, and I could show them. And you could show them all the great artwork he does, because she loves to play chalk, and she makes rainbows and all kinds of stuff. So I kind of encouraged her through positive reinforcement, saying that I bet you could show them how to do that. Like, that's great, and I wish I knew how to do that. And that kind of thing kind of gave her the confidence she needed to say, okay, I'll go with you as long as you come with me. And so through this, she was able to come with me, go across the street, and I rang the doorbell, of course, and I kind of did all the talking at first. But the girls did come out with us, and we did go play with chalk, and they even brought over their own stuff. They have all kinds of things they use for chalk. They have stencils and things you can trace with, and really cool stuff. And so I kind of started talking to all of them in general. In general, I was asking them all questions and kind of asking them questions like, how do you guys do in school? Do you like school? What's your favorite flower? What's your favorite animal? Things like that. So kind of got them to kind of mutually agree, oh, you like giraffes? I do too, kind of thing. So that was really good, and I think Mia started opening up more, and it really helped her. And after the girls left, I even asked her, like, so how'd you feel? Did you have fun? She said she had really fun, a good time, and that she would definitely hang out with them again. So that really made me happy and confident that she was progressing and opening up more. On day 6, okay, Mia was in a good mood, and I thought it'd be a great idea to play again with her neighbors. And this time, I kind of encouraged her to do it on her own, and that I would meet them out there. So I said I had to go to the bathroom, but I was like, but you go get the girls, and then I'll meet you guys outside, and we'll go do something. And she was like, she did agree to do it with no hesitation, but she was like, but you're coming out, right? She kind of wanted to reassure herself that I'm going to be coming out with her. And I, of course, said yes. So she went and did that, and we went out, and I met them out there, and we ended up going on a bike ride and scooter ride, which is a lot of fun. And there wasn't a whole lot of interaction going on then, but when we got back, we talked, and I talked to them about what's a good friend, and what do you guys think is a good friend? And they all kind of agreed that like a good friend was someone who is nice and who shares and who cares. And I told Mia, I think she's a good friend. I think she shares really nicely. She is really nice to me and her new friends, Alicia and Alex, and that I think she cares about people, and that kind of like melted my heart because she just like glowed with like a huge smile knowing that positive reinforcement and doing positive attention and getting positive attention is way better than getting the negative attention. So I was happy that that day we were able to kind of like reinforce the fact that positive behavior is better than negative behavior. On day 7, we did a more relaxing day. She showed me her garden, which I didn't even know she had a garden, and she actually was growing cucumbers. And she was so proud of it, and she said she had shown Alicia and Alex a couple of days before, and I was like, wait, so you've hung out with them? And she said, yes, we've hung out, and we played Barbies, and I thought that was great because she was able to go play with them without me, and that just showed me that she was progressing and that she was doing a great job. On day 8, I asked all the parents if we could go to the zoo the next day because it was my last day officially working with Mia for my project, even though I knew eventually I would be seeing them more and more after this, and I hope to be able to follow them and make sure Mia was doing good in school and see if what I've been teaching her and talking to her about kind of helped. And all the parents thought it was a great idea, and I thought, great, this would be a great day for the 3 girls to get some time together and have a good time. So Mia and I talked about school and some expectations and ways of dealing with situations. I told her the difference between negative and positive attention and how positive outweighs the negative. And I even gave her the example yesterday or the day before that of how she got the positive attention and she was so happy, and it made her feel way better than when she got the negative attention and had a punishment or consequence because of that negative attention and how it affected others. She seemed to really like understand this and how making good choices can outweigh making bad choices, and she overall I think she like really got a good grasp of how things could be for her this coming school year. So I felt very confident with that. And then on the last day we went to the Brevard Zoo. They all got along really well, even when there was a little bit of like aggravation and complication. Mia seemed to really like not do too much of reaction or lashing out, and I would always I continually positive reinforced her like, all right, Mia, great job, let's go do this. Or, Mia, I really like how you handle that situation. Or, that's really nice of you to share something, even though she may not have wanted to. And I think that really makes the difference. Just giving that extra reinforcement can really make the difference for a student. Overall, this project was really great because it gave me a chance to get involved with a student or a child who struggles with socializing and emotional and needs that extra support in order to really exceed, and it just goes to show giving that extra support and attention can really go a long way and really help the child to progress. Here are some pictures. On the first picture, it's us at the zoo. We were feeding giraffes. Second one was us. I think we were collaborating or just talking. I had to cut out the other girls because their faces were showing. And then on the last picture, this was her looking at her cucumbers and showing me her garden and how proud she was of it. And that was really awesome. And then here's my TIA hour log. I did 10 days, and I split it up for the 15 hours. And the ending of my TA, during this experience, I really learned a lot and enjoyed working with this student. Her disability did not define her, and with the right positive reinforcement put into place, she will continue to grow, I think. And she really learned from this experience, and so did I, and I will continue to grow with her as we work together to collaborate and help each other through any issues that she's having, because those issues that she's having, I could possibly have a student of my own someday with those same issues, and that being able to work with her can help me in the future as a teacher. And I'm excited to see how her school year goes for her, and I hope she's able to use all the things that I taught her to be the best that she can.